Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a long time since I've last spoken to you, and it's because my 2018 has started out kind of rough. I was sick for like 2.5 weeks. I caught the flu. I got better, and then I caught something else, some kind of sinus infection sort of thing, and I was down for a few days. And I've just been in a funk. The mood has just been low. And as we all go through things, and I feel like entrepreneurs especially, like we have this tendency to go through a phase of self-loathing. Like, oh, this is not gonna work. Oh, nobody's gonna like it. Even though like 2017 proved that yes, a lot of people like the brand, love the product, and even the book. And but there's just other things that are happening that, kind of interfere, aka life. As you can see, I don't have tints on my windows because this is not the same car I started out with. My first car died. The head gasket blew. Now, for people who don't understand what that means, it means that the car was overheating. It got really hot. And there's a thing called a radiator that's supposed to cool your car down. Most people pour water in it when they don't have radiator fluid, which is like this really bright neon green fluid, this liquid. And so when I realized that was the problem, I poured water in my radiator. And as I'm pouring it in, it's just falling out. I pour more in, more falls out. So I'm like, okay, this is not supposed to be happening. What's up? There was a crack in the radiator. All right. So I was able to at least drive to my son's school the next day. Boom. Drive to his school, turn off the car, go inside. I love you. Have a great day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Get back in. I turn the key. Nothing's happening. It's making like this really weird sound. And then I see a puff of white smoke coming out of my tailpipe. I knew that was a problem. So I'm just sitting there in the car like, okay, all right, God, universe, Allah, he, she, whatever it is that's out there, the creator, the energies that are causing all this stuff to happen. What do you want me to do now? Because I have no solution. I am in a transitional phase, which we are always in transition, but this is like huge. Like I moved out, I'm sole provider for me and my son, and budgeting and all this great stuff, my car, this, that, and the third. I'm like, but I don't have anything. Why is it that you're taking away what I do have? I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't get it. Like I'm in such a state of shock that I can't cry. I've been trying to like let out some good old tears and I can't cry. Universe won't let me cry. So what happened? So I'm sitting in the car, and a friend of mine who also takes her daughter to the same school, she's like, hey, what happened? Because I'm just sitting there, no car running, nothing. And I was like, my car died. Oh no, my gosh, just that and the third, yada yada. So she's like, hold on, I'll be right back. She goes inside, drops off her daughter, comes back out, and she's like, I just volunteered someone. I'm gonna at least take you to work. So she takes me to work, which is beautiful. I love her. And she takes me to work, drops me off. I go to work, I work. I'm like having a phenomenal day. That day, my students were on fire. When I tell you, plus we were doing poetry. Y'all know how I love analyzing poetry. And I was just blowing their minds. It's like, yes. And the tower represents the mother because he was abandoned as a child in the water tank. Well, the water tank is the mom because moms usually do the cleansing, and he's in this, that, and the third. So I was going in. It was phenomenal. Everyone, like the teachers that I work with are like, this is your thing. You really need to do it because the kids, even the students, notice it. They respect you more when you're passionate about what you do. People in general, but especially children. So then at the end of the day, we're having lunch and we're sitting there and we're talking and I'm sharing my story. And they're like, what? How did you... Oh my goodness, like what in the world? Like but you're so like on fire today. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to keep it together. So I just suppressed all that anger and confusion and I put it into my work, into my passion. So then here we are after school, get back to the car. Principal of my son's school is like, I almost called a tow truck, but I recognized your car. So I'm sitting there waiting. We figure out a way to, and shout out to my angels, man. There are so many walking this planet. We figure out a way to get AAA to come and pick up my car for me. But AAA sends a battery guy. And I'm like, it's not the battery. The car won't start. It's because it's the engine. So I sat there for like 2 hours. I dozed off, woke up, whatnot. So then the second guy comes around, and literally the mechanic is 3 minutes away, just around the corner. If I could, I would push the car out myself. So then tow truck picks up the car. It's in a really tight spot, but he works it out. And he's just having a conversation with me that he's like, oh, I'm so sorry for the mess in my truck. I was like, no big deal. Have you seen my car? I have a toddler. He's like, no. And he's like, man, my wife, women, you guys have a very special talent, a very special gift, a special way of keeping it all together and everything's so organized. Like my wife, she works full time and yet the house is so beautiful and everything is done and I always thank her and she's amazing. And I was like, well, I'm so glad that you do that. I wasn't sarcastic. I really I really needed to hear that. Because it was like, yeah, we do a lot. We do figure out ways to keep it together. And I guess I was like, universe saying, you need to keep it together because I got something for you. So I'm messaging everybody because I do panic. I do have my little anxiety attacks. I mean, who doesn't, I'm consulting with my tribe because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to solve this problem? This was not what we projected, people. Like, why is this happening? Mayday, code red. So that's happening. So we get to the mechanic. And before we even get there, he's like, oh, I know that guy. He's really good. I was like, good. Yes, he is. So bring the car over. They managed to start the car and move it into a parking space. But mind you, we're all fanning our faces because there's a bunch of white smoke coming out of my engine and my tailpipe. And I'm like, I know that's not good. And I know that's not good because I've been around cars. During my pregnancy, I was with someone that was a mechanic and I had to work on cars. Whether I liked it or not, that's another story for another day. And I'm like, oh, that's the head gasket. And I know to remove one of those bad boys is a mission. And it all depends on what type of car. With this car, you got to take the whole thing apart because the way they set it up, it was an 03 Altima. So I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, all right, I'm moving around. I'm like, all right, what am I, let me think of ways. Well, maybe I can pull some money from over here and take some money from there and ask somebody for some money here and put some money down on a buy here, pay here. I'm working, because y'all know, if you don't know, my credit is not that great because Farrah in her teens and 20s decided that she wanted to buy whatever she wanted and just blow all her money. But she went to college and got a degree, which is great. But she wasn't very wise with her money. So now Farrah in her 30s is cleaning up for Farrah in her 20s with a child. So this is why I dabble in so many things because I'm hoping to generate so many streams of income. Okay, a nice flow and so from so many different directions. Cool. So I'm sitting in the office waiting for the head mechanic to come to me, and he's like, okay, I have it brought, it's no good. I was like, I know. What's the problem? He's like, it's the head. It's like, oh, shoot. How much is that going to cost? $600. I was like, what? I started laughing and I apologized because I didn't mean to do that. I was just like, I don't have any money. And he knows me because I've gone to him a couple times and he's like, well, this isn't a great car. If anyone is looking at 03 Altimas, 02, 01, no, 01 is good. 02 I think is okay, but 03, 04, not good. Don't do it. The mechanic told me to take it back. He's like, return it, go get your money back. But I was in a tight situation where I needed a vehicle because I had my son and I started working, etc., etc. So, we always get pushed into corners, so we do our best to like figure out a way to get out of the deep end and breathe a little bit. At least like have our head above the waterline, like at least our nostrils. And that's what I was trying to do. So he tells me $1,600. I tell him I ain't got no money. What can I do? He's like, well, like, and I didn't say that. I was like, I'm about to just go to a buy here, pay here, get some money together somehow. And then I called my mom. I was like, well, I need to stay there for a couple of days. Like, I'm already thinking like, damn, how am I going to get to work? Yes, I can take the bus. I'd have to, my son will have to miss some days at school. And I'm like mapping it all out. And I'm like, I think I'm calm and collective. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Okay. So then he walks away for a little bit. He's working, there's a couple of them there. And I sit down and I'm like, no, not even. When I was in the car waiting for the tow truck driver, that's when I was like, something good is going to happen today. Something good is going to, something amazing is going to happen. I'm not even stressing it. Something wonderful is going to happen. I changed my mindset. I didn't spaz out and scream and cry. Like I did text a little anger, angry emojis, but it wasn't to the point where it was like I had given up. I was relentless in believing in myself and in my faith in the situation. Like, all right, something's going to turn around. So back at the shop, I'll give you a little background history. This guy fixed up this beautiful Murano. It's like a 2004 gorgeous white Murano. He has it for $4,000. I went to take a look at it. I was like, will you take my Altima? He said no. And he's like, you know what? I have something. I'm gonna help you out. Life is suck. That's what he said, which I know. Life sucks. He's like, you work so hard, and I know you have a son, and I want to help you. I was like, okay, all right, I'm all ears. What's up? So we start walking through the parking lot, and we're walking towards the Murano, and I'm like, oh my God, are you about to give me this Murano? What? Universe, you about to give me? And then he goes, now look over here, and we turn to the left. And we see this 2001 Altima. I was like, all right, it's a little eyesore, but you know what? Who cares? So we work out a deal. We work out something where I can drive it home that night. Do y'all hear me? That night. The same day my first car breaks down, I get blessed with another car. Talk about shifting the mind definitely helps. And I was trying my best to prepare myself for an alternative. Maybe I'll take this, that, and that. Like I was going to Uber all over the place, keep it simple, don't do too many moves or make too many moves, That night, long story short, I get a blessing, another blessing in disguise, someone helping me out with it. So I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal. I get to get my son. We get in this new car, and he's happy, beaming. Ooh, nice car. So we get in the car. I'm like, all right. We get some food. It's late. It's like 7:15 now. And we're driving on one of the main roads. And lo and behold, the car shuts off. The car completely turns off. Bells, whistles, lights, radio, whatever was flashing is flashing no more. And we are stuck. And here's what happens. It's technically a new car to me. And I don't know where the heck the freaking hazard light button is. And I'm like, okay, in my car it was here, but it's not here. And I can't even see anything. It's dark. So I get my phone, and my phone is dying. Oh, great. The battery on my phone is low. The car shuts down, and I don't know where the heck this daggone thing is. And then the cars are driving by slowly. They're being courteous. They notice. They realize. And then my old car, an 03 Altima, a green 03 Altima, pulls up to the side, gets in front of me, slows down, and a lady comes out, and she's like, "Are you okay?" you gotta figure out how to move, honey. They're gonna hit you. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I can't. And then I found the hazard button. Great. And then she's like, I'm like, it's not starting. She's like, try to start it. She puts her hand on the vehicle. I believe in miracles, y'all. She puts her hand on the car, on the door, the windshield, that piece right there between the door and the windshield, and the car starts. She's like, that's God. She walks off, gets in her car, which was once my old car, and drives away. So I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, all right. Clearly something is happening. Dang, all these motorcycles. There's like 100 motorcyclists driving past, heading southbound on the turnpike. I'm really going on to the beach. 15-minute story. I know it's a long story, but listen. So I'm driving, and I feel it locking up, like shutting down again, how it felt earlier. Pull into a gas station, call the mechanic, let him know what happened. He's on his way. My phone is dying though, as we're like, phone is dying. I can't charge it up because clearly the battery is dead. So I'm sitting there waiting, and every time he calls, I answer, my phone shuts down. It'll power back up, but it shuts right back down. So I'm like, okay, this is a problem. I'm trying to figure this out. What is happening, universe? Like, what are you doing to me? So then we're sitting there, and my son is crying now. Now he's getting a little hungry and irritated. Like, he's falling asleep, but he's hot, and all this stuff he has is going on. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. So then, I'm gonna start the car, and I'm just gonna move it and just go. Like, I can't. So I started the car, I started up, and I went home, and I put my phone on the charger, I put him to bed, I clean him up, I get all that, get him situated. And then I go back and I answer all the phone calls and the messages, because everyone, I'm texting everyone as this is happening. I was actually on the phone with someone, and I was like, oh shit, the car just died on me. And I need to get over. I'm trying to get over. I get home and I make it home, and I'm like, okay, great. Next day, I take him to school. I don't turn the car off. Don't turn the car off, and I just keep it moving from there. So now let's fast forward to yesterday, on Friday. Got him in the car. We're driving, and the car shuts down in the middle of US 1 again. Long story short, humanity, the people are not dead. A lot of people are dead inside. Don't know what's going on with the human race, because so many people were driving past me, yelling at me, well, you could at least put on your hazards or something. I wanted to be like, lady, clearly you know nothing about vehicles. If a person is stranded and their hazard lights are not on, that means their battery's not working, boo-boo. No power, no light, no electricity. So, two amazing young men who didn't even know each other hopped out of their vehicles or whoever they were riding with, pushed the car to the side, got a jump, had to get a new battery, and here we are today. I said all of that to say it gets crazy. It does. But if you are if you are a person living on purpose, if you are destined to live out a purpose, and that I feel like is pretty much all of us. We all have a purpose, or else we would not be here, because we may have already fulfilled it and we are gone. Like my lovely mother, who passed away at the young age of 36. She fulfilled her purpose. I don't know what it is. I know she touched so many lives. She impacted so many people. Growing up, I would interact with a lot of people who knew her, and they're like, damn, your mother was amazing. She would do anything for anybody. Oh God, I wish you had a chance to meet her. You're probably just like her. She would literally take the shirt off her back, put her jacket on, and give it to somebody if they needed it, and et cetera, et cetera. And growing up, it was hard for me because I was like, I want to be like that, but this is hard. Like, a lot of the stuff I'm going through is tough, man. But I said my entire car story to say your mindset has to be set on the positive. Even if you're going through some stuff, like I have some other things that I'm dealing with too, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to keep a cool head. I will drink a glass of wine every night if I need to calm down and remember to breathe, because this is not the end. This is not my story. This is a part of the story. This is definitely a part of it. This is the part I'm going to tell in my movie, or I didn't even know I was going to do a movie. That just came out. My book, in my film, whatever, on Oprah's couch. It's going to be a 2-part series with her, 3-part. And I'm just be like, yes, but if you're going through it, breathe, my dears, my darlings, my men, my women, my children, whoever is listening, breathe through it. Even if you got to do it a couple times, a couple deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, and think, okay, something good is going to happen. A blessing is coming. If you don't believe, whatever, something good is going to happen. That's all it takes. A little bit of faith, a little belief in self, a little bit of belief in the situation that is happening to you and around you and that surrounds you and that's interfering. And angels are walking among us. That lady who touched my car, I truly believe she did something, because that car was running for a couple more days. Angels walk among us. We can't believe that we're in this universe alone. Like, we're the only living things. No way, man. And a lot of them come crashing and land here and transform to look like us just to help us. Believe that. And things will work out. I'm still a little bit underwater. I'm still trying to wrap my head around a lot of stuff that's going on. But I still believe. And I know deep down inside, there's just something inside of me that's like, nah, that's not how it's going to end. You have so much more coming for you. So keep moving. Even if it's baby steps, smaller steps, because I've taken leaps before. And now I'm just like, I am tired. Like, my spirit, my soul, I don't know what it is, but I am just drained. But I'm still moving. I'm still showing up for myself. So show up for you. Show up for you. Be amazing. Be true. And know that love is flowing in your direction, and that I believe all the amazing things are going to happen for you as well. And we're going to be rock stars in our own right. All right, beauties and gents, I am almost at my next destination. I have a meeting on this beautiful Sunday. It looks like it's gonna rain. So see, the clouds are kind of dark. It's a cloudy day, but rain brings growth, and the sun comes after. But it's coming. It's there. It's out there. All right, I talked your ear off. I gotta go.